Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me. This is Alice Mwangi from Hillside Organic Garden. Uh, Today, I'm excited to show you something that I've been trying out the last, is it 3 months? Yeah, around 3 months. Yeah, mushroom farming. I've been trying to grow oyster mushroom, and today I want to show you what I have done and how I've been doing it. I have had some success and I've harvested some mushrooms. So that's why I would like to share with you some of the things that I have learned in the process. And welcome again to the channel, Hillside Organic Garden. Hillside Organic Garden is a quarter-acre garden that is located in Nairobi, Kenya. And in Hillside Organic Garden, we live sustainably. We grow our own food. We produce what we need. We produce animal feeds. And so just the idea of using local materials to produce food, so in an urban setup, that is what we have been doing, and that's the inspiration we would want to let out there. Thank you for joining me. Now let's get to it. To do the mushroom farming, one thing that's very important is sterilizing. Okay, let me not use the word sterilizing because really that's big. It's just making sure that you sanitize the surfaces that you're working with. Today, I am going to do grow the mushrooms from a substrate. This is sugarcane buggase, that's what we call it, sugarcane buggase. This has been boiled and a little bit of gypsum added and then drained the water, but it's still moist. So I chopped it a bit, then boiled it in a pot in the fire for like 2 hours, then drained it and put it in this gunny bag and hung it to drain water. So today I'm just gonna put it in this bucket. This is the bucket that I'll be growing my mushroom in. As you can see, I've got holes that have been drilled in the bucket. So this will be like the breather holes and also the holes through which the mushroom will peel and grow. So the idea is just to have a recyclable containers. I know many people grow in polythene bags, which are okay, but for me, I would rather have something that I can always use for a longer time. So I have invested in buckets, and I have had some success, though I've been using some small buckets. But this is the first time I use this kind of bucket. This is 20-liter bucket. Here I have my mushroom seed. This is gray oyster mushroom that I'm gonna use today. I sourced it from the National Museums of Kenya, and yes, it's been a while because I sourced it on the 7th of November this year, and I've just been keeping it in the fridge a bit. It's grown a bit, but I'm gonna use it today. And all I'm gonna do is actually put this bagasse in the bucket and inoculate the bagasse with the mushroom seed, and that's it. It's as simple as that. There's nothing else I will do, just that. But before we start sterilizing, I've already sterilized the surface, so I'm just gonna be sterilizing. And I said I'm not gonna use the word sterilize. I'm gonna use spirit, just methylated spirit. This is it, methylated spirit. That is what I'm using. That's what I've been using. It works well for me, and I think it's fine because I'm just sanitizing, basically, not sterilizing, sanitizing, just making sure that the mushroom will grow without mold, yeah, and that bacteria, the mold fungi are kept at bay. So I sterilize, okay, again, I sanitize around, and just let it dry a bit. I do also in my hands, and you could notice I have rubber gloves to use. Then I have my mushroom seed here, and I'm gonna just kind of scoop it, scoop the, and break it apart, and just then spread the buggase, spread it out, and a bit of this, because I'm gonna be putting like all of this in this one bucket, and I just start putting right away. Remember, I sanitized it, so as I go I will keep adding the seed a bit by bit. So, and then I try to mix it as I layer, add a bit more and a bit more of this, and just mix it. This is made in grains. I believe these are sorghum grains. So keep adding. It's really not a big job, well, but it takes you 2 days, because then you have to spend a day or use one time to boil the substrate and drain it, and then plant maybe the following day. That is what I usually do. So that way it doesn't become like a hard task to do. Get everything round. So my bucket continues, and I have to put some more of this. So I keep adding. About the seeds, I add as much as I could, because the faster the mushroom grows, the less the risk of having mold grow. So you need to inoculate well, because if you put too little, then it will take so long to spread the mycelium, and then that will give advantage of time to the mold fungi. So it's better when you put enough of this so that it's quicker. That I learned by experience after putting very little and then experiencing mold growth. So I had to learn that it's better to put a lot. So every scoop that I put, I add a spoon. So let's see how far the bucket has gone here. So we're gonna fill it to the top, to the brim. So we continue, and as we do, 1 scoop, 1 spoon of the seed. It's also called pounds. So, 1 more scoop. Notice I'm not squeezing in the substrate too much because I want air to flow. So, but again, it's also not so loose. So I want air to flow in. So I don't squeeze it like too much. It's just a bit. Just making sure it fits every space, but not in a tight way, such that no air can pass. So I would want air to pass through the whole substrate, through the hose, because that helps with the growth of the mycelium. So this may take like 3 weeks, sometimes a month, for the mycelium to spread the whole bucket, and before the mushroom can start pinning out and just growing. So we'll keep that at that level, and then we'll put a lid on it. I get the lid. Notice I do not put holes on the lid because I do not want the mushroom to pin out from up. I just want them on the sides. Again, that I learned by experience. It's better to have them pinning on the side because then the substrate does not dry out. Because again, if it dries, it means it will not pin out, because it cannot grow when the moisture is so low. You have to have it a bit wet, a bit like 50% moisture level. What I mean is this buggase has some moisture in it, like 50% moisture level. So if that dries out, then the substrate dries out, then it's going to be difficult for the mushroom to grow. And again, that I learned by experience after failing several times and wondering what's going on. Yeah, I have to do this a bit tight because my air spaces will be these ones. And I'll keep it aside, and that's it. I'll wait for a month, and the mushroom mycelium will grow and grow, and when it's ready, it starts pinning from this hose again. And then now when I start pinning, I'll have to use my hand spray to spray around it to keep it moist, keep the surface moist, so that the mushroom can grow. I want to show you what are some of the mushrooms that are already growing. Like you can see, this one is growing. It's a small bucket. This is growing. That's white oyster. Maybe I will give it 1 or 2 days before I harvest, so that this cup will turn a bit and look like funnel shape, and then I will be able to harvest it. I keep it covered like that again because moisture level. I do not have a humidifier. I hope to get one, but before then I do with local materials. I do with local ways of moisturizing and keeping the moisture level high. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you've learned 1 or 2 hints about growing mushrooms, and I would want to know what you've learned, and probably also if you have a question or a remark or something to say, put it in the comment section, and I will be able to read it and see what is your reaction towards this. Thank you very much for joining, and I hope it's been helpful. I hope put uh, to put more videos on how this is working out, so that you can move the process with me and learn more. Thank you. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to come back. Thank you. God bless.